Hi, my name is Dr. David Kaplowitz, and I'm the president and head coach of Rock Spring Coaching. Started my coaching practice about 8 years ago, but I got involved in iPEC in about 5.5 years ago and started with their energy leadership program. I'm a retired chiropractic physician. I had a very long career as a chiropractor. I was the first doctor in the state of Connecticut to advertise. I marketed my practice very well. We saw a great number of people every day. And in the late 80s and early 90s, managed care kind of changed the way we got reimbursed for our services. So I turned my attention to a network distribution business in vitamins and nutritionals, and built a large distribution business around the world. Unfortunately, once I sold my practice, which that decision didn't serve me quite as well as I would have liked, in 2000, the business that I represented changed the way they compensated their distributors. And once again, I was looking for a way to supplement my income. With 3 children and college and so forth on the way, it was important to go ahead and build a business because I wasn't ready to retire. And then I went ahead after that and built another network distribution business in vitamins and nutritionals, which was healthcare related. And unfortunately, something similar happened for a different reason. It was at that time a couple of people told me that I had some really good skills. I was a public speaker, spoke internationally, lectured for practice management groups, and they said, David, you need to learn how to become a coach for helping people move from point A to point B. And it's interesting, I didn't think about it until I started looking around, and I began to realize that they were right. While I could speak publicly, I needed a platform or a forum to be able to speak on something that gave me not only confidence in moving people from point A to point B, but really a methodology. So I was on a search and actually came and found that iPEC, which was really in my backyard because there are so many coaching schools, but it really is only about 60, 70 miles away. So I attended the program and got involved with energy leadership, and that was the beginning. So what inspired me to take the COR.E Dynamics program was to get a deeper understanding of some of the coaching principles, but more importantly, bring a really rich experience to my clients. Because I'm a leadership development coach and I focus on growth for small and mid-sized companies, and I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, salespeople, people that are independent insurance agents and real estate agents, I wanted to bring a very rich experience and bring something different, something outside of what they hear every single day. And COR.E Dynamics did that for me in a very, very significant way. Because I was always interested in diagnostics as a chiropractor, we took x-rays and we did certain diagnostic testing. COR.E Dynamics made a lot of sense to me to get deep into the work that can make changes and sustainable changes quickly. The most important thing that I learned in this course that took my business to the next level was the concept of mastery and the core disciplines. Because I'm a leadership performance coach focusing on growth, it's important for people to focus on their process, which is a mastery concept, rather than the immediate results. And that's a very rich way of thinking for people, because in order to succeed in any business, we're looking not for just results one off here and one off there. We're looking for sustained results, and sustained results gives my clients confidence. And the focus on mastery is what really made a very big difference in my business. This program has impacted the way I coach my clients because it gives me a methodology or a system to follow in terms of moving people from point A to point B. So for instance, when we get started, we talk about blocks, limiting beliefs, assumptions, interpretations, but we overlay that in time with not only the core disciplines, but the core influencers. So it's a much more rich experience, and people are evolving continuously. So coaching clients that went from 6 months are now going to a year and a year and a half with an enriched experience moving them forward. Of course, in my business, I use iPEC's Carry On Campus program, which has all of those exercises for my clients, which they find incredibly helpful in terms of keeping on track and doing their homework and being involved in the process. Before COR Dynamics, a lot of my coaching was me trying to get people to do things in between. Now they see there's more of a responsibility on their end, so I'm a big advocate for that entire program. Just to show you how effective the COR Dynamics coaching program is, I have a couple of results that are really outstanding for certain clients, because one of my clients is an insurance agent with a large company that I won't mention at this point, okay? And since we started using the COR Dynamics and the performance and mastery orientation, he did more business in the first quarter this year than he has done in the entire year of the year 2014. So he's made more money in the first quarter this year than he made all of 2 years ago. And he's been an agent for quite a while. So that's an outstanding story. Because I'm a doctor and because I have a lot of healthcare professionals that are also clients of mine, I have an acupuncturist that doubled their business. And it was very clear when we got working with the core disciplines and awareness of what she was doing in her practice and accepting how she was practicing, which are the two core disciplines that I work with a lot, and then trusting her process. We together, she broke down certain barriers, but she was able to double her practice last year as a result of doing that. I absolutely love the scope assessment and what it's meant to my clients. Creating awareness around a particular issue can be brought to a head by doing a scope assessment. I encourage all of my clients to start scoping within the first month of working with them. Certainly, they have to get used to understanding the concepts of level 1 and level 2 energy and so forth. But once they do, early on, I give them access to scope, because I tell them this: unless you start thinking and creating awareness around some of the issues that you have, it'll be difficult to make changes. So my clients make quick changes as a result of creating awareness, and that awareness is created by continually scoping. As a matter of fact, I like my clients scoping once a week as a minimum, as part of their homework or part of their process of moving forward. Not only do they love it, they certainly text me and let me know that they've done it, and then I can go ahead and clarify for them what the suggested strategies are at the end of that scope. Scope assessment creates tremendous awareness for your clients, and awareness is 90% of moving people from point A to point B. The 10 core disciplines have a tremendous impact with my clients. The first thing that we focus on, of course, is awareness and acceptance. But very early on, we get into focusing on one of the core disciplines in a big way, is trusting the process. Many people that come to me are struggling in their business to move forward. It's very difficult for them to see beyond what they're doing now, how they can grow their business. And one of the things that we talk about is that we're going to come up with new ideas that they're going to help formulate, but then they need to trust the process as part of one of the core disciplines. So trusting the process and being present in the moment, which is another core discipline, makes a huge difference in their ability to move forward, because some of these people have been thinking in a fleeting way about these things to grow their business and move their business forward, but no one's heightened their awareness around it and allowed them to trust what it is that they're actually doing. So core discipline in COR Dynamics is so incredibly helpful for enriching the experience, but also giving the clients a better understanding that the answers are right within them. And that's the power of coaching, to letting them know that. So that's where I use core disciplines. The best way for me to describe the influencers and how that's affected my practice is taking people that I work with in core performance coaching, especially on the golf course. One of the things that I think a lot of people do, and I do it on a Saturday morning when I go out with a client, is if it's raining and they get all upset about rain, and they're a relatively good golfer, but it affects the game, and their game is, and I don't mention anything for the first 3 or 4 holes. I just kind of listen and understand. And then we talk about, what is it about the rain that really bothers you? Well, it's annoying. It gets, my grips get wet and so forth. I said, that's a core influencer that is working against you. And basically, that's an environmental influencer. You are being affected right now by the environment. So if you want to focus on that which you cannot change, that will detract from your ability to master your swing and master your game. So that's just a very small way that one of the influencers makes a huge difference. Certainly a physical influencer, somebody hurts themselves, or they're not up to speed, they didn't drink enough water. These are all influencers. And one of the things that is a big way of explaining to people is the social influencer. When they play better when certain people are present, and when they feel intimidated by others, that's a social influencer rather than that's working against them. So basically, their understanding of how the influencers affect their energy is huge in terms of their ability to begin the mastery concept. The reason I recommend this core leadership program to other coaches is it clearly separates you from a lot of coaches out there. Now, I'm not going to say something about other coaching programs that I don't know about, but I can tell you the feedback from what I get from my clients and from people that I address when I do a presentation. They always say, what a clear understanding of how the attitudes and behaviors are formulated through the leadership level, in the core leadership level. And secondarily, what a refreshing way to explain to people how they can move from point A to point B. And almost always, when I do a presentation using this, everyone who is interested in coaching would like an energy leadership assessment. It's almost instantaneous. If they have any issues going on and they understand the principles of the 7 levels of leadership and mastery concepts, they want to understand how they show up every day. That has impacted my practice, where in the last 6 months, I've grown my business 40%.